everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni and the Widow Ruckelshaus, and we're working on this journal. I have the cover that I want to do another couple coats of Mod Podge on it, so I'm not showing it with the cover yet, but this is the inside. These are the pages. I haven't bound them yet. Okay, and we have this kind of cream and white and browns and then this brick red going on in here. So today what I want to do is a fabric flip. Okay, and it's really easy. All you do, let's choose a page first so we can figure out the size. I usually just make my fabric flip and then stick it in wherever I want to, but because these pages are so small, we kind of have to plan a little bit about how big something's going to be. So I think I'm going to do it on one of these small pages here because I think it'll be really cool that way. So remember that when I open it up, I take out the page I'm going to work on, and then I put these pages sideways to save my space, okay? So that I know where this page goes back in the scheme of things. All right, and I think we might do 2 fabric flips. I'm not really sure. We'll see. I think I'll just do 1. Okay, so I chose this fabric, which is from the same sari as the sari silk ribbon that I've been using. And just, sorry, I wanted to check and make sure my camera was still going because I heard a beep. And we're also going to use some lace and probably a button or some ribbon or both. Okay, so what I want to do first is I want to figure out the right size for it. And do I want this side that has this trim on it? Probably not. I think I want this to just be able to hang loose like this. And do I want this? I think that would be going the wrong side. So I think I'm going to use this part right here. I'm going to cut it here along this edge. I don't want it to fill up the entire page because I don't want it to end up in the binding. That's something you have to really watch out for, especially in a little tiny journal like this one. And it's okay to have it sticking down a little bit from the bottom of the page and hanging out of the book. That's totally okay. Okay, and then I'm going to just cut it across here. I usually tear, but with sari silk, when you tear it, you get all kinds of silk fibers coming up, and I've been getting those in my lungs, and I have been coughing a lot because of that. So I need to remember to wear a mask if I'm going to tear it. Okay, that might be true a little bit for other fabrics, but with the silk, it's really bad. It's very pretty, and that's how I figured out what it was. I'd been coughing for a few months and couldn't figure out what was wrong, why I was coughing, and couldn't get rid of it. And then I realized when I was tearing the silk one time that there were all these beautiful fibers glistening in the sun, and then I realized I'm breathing those. Okay, so I like that. That's really pretty. Okay, so I can set the page aside for now. And I want to use some of this on it too. I don't want to use too much because I don't want to cover this up, but I'm just going to use a little bit to just hang down. It's not going to be anywhere near the size of the rest of that, but I'm going to hang it right here. Okay, like that. And do I want... That would be kind of pretty. Oh, I do. I like that. Okay, so let's use that. Okay. And I like that it's all frayed and everything. And then I think let's also put some lace on it. Some of this lace that I've got. This is some polyester lace that I coffee dyed. Look at that. I love that design. And see, this is what I mean. Okay, so the polyester dyes unevenly. I like that. I think that's really cool. Sometimes that's what I want, and other times it's not. So, okay, I think I'm going to have this go across the top. So it goes right through the middle of this heart, right there. Okay, so I might want to hang this a little bit differently, I'm not sure. Or, I could actually have this hanging down below it, like that. That's kind of pretty. Okay, and then this will be up at the top. Okay, so let's sew all that, and then we can figure out if we want to add a button or anything to it. And I think I'm going to have a little bit of time at the end where I can show you another journal that I'm working on off camera. Oops, I had this turned on. Okay, so to me. Let's fix this again a little bit better. I might even need to use a pin. I usually don't use pins when I'm sewing, especially for this. You know what? I think I'm going to have this part here, because it's got that fringe on it. I'm going to have that sticking up above it so that it's sticking out of the book at the top. I think that would be really pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to put this along. How did I have it? I had it up here at the top. And then I had the lace, and I want to make sure that's going the right way. Yeah. I want to have the lace down just a little bit from that. Okay, there we go. Whoops. And I don't pick up the whole thing. Come on. I think I'm trying to hurry too much today or something. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to sew. We're not going to sew at the top of this. We're going to sew at the top of the lace right here. Okay, and I'm going to use zigzag. That will hold all these layers together the best. And again, if you don't want to sew, just use glue. That works just as well. I just like to sew, so that's why I sew a lot. But a lot of people don't like to sew. And I think most junk journalers use mainly glue anyway. So you're in good company. I think I want to fray this piece just a little bit before I need to take off my glasses so I can see better. I want to fray it just to give it a little bit more of a frayed edge there. And the sari silk frays so easily. It's really wonderful. So yeah, and this sari silk is, I've made it into lots of spools to sell on Etsy, but I haven't gotten it in my shop yet. So if I haven't gotten it in my shop yet when you see this video and you want some, just let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and list it for you. I just have been super, super busy. Okay, so I want that frayed part sticking up a little bit. In fact, I'm gonna stick that part of the ribbon up, and I want this just like this. Okay, I've got it a little bit away from the spine, from the center fold, okay, because I don't want this to get caught in the center fold. And in fact, when I bind it, I'll turn it like this, but I don't want even this part to get caught. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, you can glue this on there. I'm gonna go ahead and, actually I want to fray this side a little bit more too. I'm gonna go ahead and sew it on. Let's turn on, yeah, it's on already. Okay, so I want to sew that on. I'm going to let this part, this little bit here, stick out, and I'm sticking that part up. Okay, and I need my glasses. And again, I'm sewing just on the same part that I sewed before when it was just the fabric. Using that part to sew it on. Okay, there we go. And so, really easy. Okay, and now let's look for a button. I think it's really pretty when you have a button on it. And let's see. No, not green. Green looks pretty, but I'm not using green in this book. I'm just sticking to those colors, so I don't really want to depart from that. That's pretty, but it doesn't really stand out. That's nice. I like that. Okay, and then what do we want to do? I think I'll use some of my husband's yarn here underneath it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make something to go underneath it. So what I do is I want to have that part hanging down right there. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap this around my fingers. All right, and I'm going to leave this part hanging down as well. And then I'm going to take that loop that I just made around my fingers and I'm going to twist it one time. Okay, and then see, it's left looking like a bow. Sort of. I've got this part. There we go. Okay, it's left looking like a bow, and it doesn't have to look perfect, especially because it's going to go underneath that button. Okay, but it'll look pretty underneath the button. Right there, like that, kind of. Okay, so we're going to get some glue. We just need a little tiny bit of glue. I got the wrong glasses with me today, so that's why they're off and on. Just need a little bit of glue to go under this. I want this bow to be kind of messy. Okay, I don't want it to be all perfect. We don't want perfect with this kind of a junk journal. We want messy. We want it to look well loved and used and shabby chic. Okay, and then I'm going to put just a little bit of glue under this. Some glues you might need more glue, but this is my crafter's pick, the ultimate glue. You don't need a whole lot of glue for it. And it sticks to just about anything. I got it on my finger, so I need to get that wiped off. Okay. All right, and then because I'm getting down, my glue is probably down to about here. Just to make it easier to come out, I stick it in a spool. Okay, that way it's always flowing really nicely. Okay, so there's our page with our flip. Okay, and then let's put it back into our book. We've got these ones turned sideways, holding our place. We can put this in here, and this is the one that goes inside of it. I'm not going to close it because there's glue still that's dry, that's wet. So we've got our centerfold here, okay, and then we open it. We've got a tuck here, and then we've got this fabric flip. That's really nice right next to that, isn't it? I really like that. Okay, so we have a little bit of extra time, so I'm going to show you what I'm working on outside of class. Oops, I just dropped something. So I have a journal that I'm working on. I'm still working on sewing the lace onto the pages, but I'll show you. It's really pretty. I love this paper. I'm not sure what it's called. I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure if I still have I bought this like 2 or 3 years ago. I bought it when my husband was still alive. So here's the cover. And, you know, a lot of the pages aren't decorated yet, but just kind of showing you what the paper is like. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I love it. I know it's by Colorbach. Okay, and then here's where I am right now that I'm putting the lace on. But I've made a fabric flip to go on one of the pages. I like it on that page. And then I have some seeds that I want to go in there because those are just the right color. And I also made another little fabric thing that I'm going to put on a paper clip, but it dropped on the floor. I made these little bags. And so this one says it's all perspective, and this one says leave a little sparkle wherever you go. And these can be, okay, so I'll either glue or sew the side right here, and I'll show you guys how to make one of these in our little notebook too, I think, if it'll fit. And so you've got a pocket right here, and then you've got a pocket. The bag itself is a pocket. You can have a pocket behind, or you can glue it at the top and have a pocket on the side, which is a big pocket. So that's a really cool thing. I'll show you how to make them. They're super, super, super easy. Okay, and so that's one of the things that we'll make a little bit later for the little journal that we're working on. All right, so anyway, that's it for today. You guys, that was quick and easy. I hope that you're doing this and following along. And remember, you can use other things. You don't have to use the same thing that I'm using. You can use different kinds of paper, different kinds of yarn or whatever, and you can always glue instead of sewing, okay? All right, I love you all. If you have questions, put them below. I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.